start of the long Easter weekend that many of you have been looking forward to. On the other hand, I'm now looking ahead to racing on Easter Sunday. We are racing at Hollywoodbets Greyville. This, of course, is the postponed night race meeting from Good Friday that was moved to Easter Sunday, while the meeting originally scheduled for Easter Sunday at Hollywoodbets Scottsville has been moved to midweek on Wednesday. Thanks for joining me as we preview Easter Sunday racing at Hollywoodbets Greyville. I do have official revised starting times, courtesy of saHorseRacing.co.za, the official database for racing in South Africa. So the first race, the revised starting time is 12:05. And just to remind you, if you are going to be taking your free Hollywoodbet Punter Challenge entry, you need to be on 5 minutes before the advertised starting time of the first. Put your selections through, play the bet slip. I can't emphasize it enough. Play the bet slip, because that is what puts you in line. If you were to be the one person to correctly pick all the winners on the card to walk off with that mammoth life-changing jackpot. Good luck, fingers crossed, you find as many winners as possible on this Hollywoodbets Greyville card, where the opener is an open maiden. 9 runners to contest this 1200-meter event, and I thought a boat race between number 3 Firelighter and number 6 Long Street. Firelighter jumps from stallgate 3, has got Nicholas Patel on board, who knows this horse well. This horse ran second in its last 2 starts. He's coming back slightly in trip back to 1200 this time round. Loves to race up with the pace, and I do think can go one better. Case can also be made for number 6 Long Street. Jumps from stallgate 6. We've got Apprentice Mbutu, who takes 4 kilos off the back on board. This is a speedy sort. Will also be staying on at the business end of affairs, is a model of consistency, and also has got a take to go one better. So, what am I going to do in the first? I'm going to go 3 Firelighter to win it, ahead of 6 Long Street, 5 Parliament Square, and 8 Anne Oxley. 3, 6, 5, 8 are the numbers I'm going with in race number 1. Revised starting time, race 2, 12:35, first leg of the bipot. And race 2 is a maiden juvenile plate where 10 runners will line up at the 1400-meter mark. Went through all of them until I got to number 10 and just said, yes, sir, that's the one I'm going with. Number 10, Indigenous, coming along the right way. Certainly brings solid Cape Town form to KZN. Visiting trainer Justin Snaith has already gotten off the mark since he's arrived in the province for his KZN Champion Season campaign. And how well is an Andrew Fortune riding at the moment? In fact, on Wednesday, he's certainly impressed with a 3-timer at Hollywoodbets Kenilworth, one of which he rode for Justin Snaith. I think Indigenous will enjoy the step up in trip to 1400, and with further natural progress can go one better. So I'm going 10 Indigenous to win it, and to beat the horse that he beat last time out, number 2 Ava Sater. For third, I'm going with number 8 Hollywood Heiress, and fourth, number 3 Alana. 10, 2, 8, 3, the numbers race number 2. Third race is a maiden plate for fillies, where 15 of them will line up at the 1400. Revised starting time for the opening leg of the place accumulator is 13:10. And you can play the opening leg of the PA in one of 2 ways. Either load or go short. I'm kind of leaning towards going short in the opening leg, and I'll tell you why. Having gone through them all, I keep coming back to this horse, number 5, Promise of Fire. This horse ran on so well last time out, and that was over the course and distance when it finished 4th. Cabela Matsuniani, who knows him well, he's back on board. And trainer Duncan Howells, I thought, wait a minute, I saw Howells says, the comments. Promise of Fire showed improvement in her last start and can give a good account of herself. That, to me, good enough to make her my first choice selection. 5 Promise of Fire to win it, ahead of 6 KMV Retrofit. For third, I'm going with number 8 Lemon Time, and for fourth, number 11 Roy's Grace. 5, 6, 8, 11, the numbers race number 3. Fourth race, revised starting time, 13:45. That's when you need to be on if you are going to play a pick 6. Maiden plate, 10 runners to face the starter at the 1800-meter mark. And again, having gone through all of them, the horse that certainly stands out is the one that ran second in his last 3 starts, and that's number 10, Silver Platter. Stable of Andre Nell is in good nick, and Serena and Moodley knows this horse well. I do think that this horse should strip much fitter. Second run after rest, and what swayed me in this horse's favour is that the blinkers are going to be refitted. So I do believe that 10 Silver Platter can go one better to win it. The two Gareth Van Sale runners are lively challengers, and it wouldn't surprise me if either of them were even to unsettle in the winner's enclosure, because for second I'm going with 9 Harun Al Rashid, for third number 4 Apache AG, and for fourth I'm going with 1 Limelight Legend. 10, 9, 4, 1, the numbers I'm going with in race number 4. First leg of the jackpot, revised starting time 14:20 for race number 5. It's a middle stakes for fillies and mares. 7 runners will line up at the 1400. I'm going for the horse that brings good feature race form into this race, and that is number 3, Magical View. The other thing that swayed me in this horse's direction is the fact that if you look at the form, you'll see that this horse really runs for Tristan Godden. Well, certainly not disgraced when 5th last time out. That was in the Kulu Stakes at grade 3 level. Coupled with the fact that this horse is having his third run after rest, and that means she should be cherry ripe to run an absolute cracker. So I'm going with 3 Magical View to win it, ahead of 4-1 Smart Cookie, 2 Red Roses 2, and 5 Malcolm's Dream. 3, 4, 2, 5, the numbers in race number 5. That takes us on to race number 6. It's a Class 5, benchmark 66, small field of just 8, revised starting time 14:55. They will line up at the 1600 meter mark. And here I'm going for a horse that I do think is going to give us a good run for our money, and that is number 6, Pongola. Gets the services of Rachel Vinica on board, who takes the 1.5 kilos off the back. This horse is always there or thereabout. This horse was certainly running on well last time out when finishing third. The horse that finished second that day was a horse called Gorgeous Dude, which happens to be number 2 in this particular race. So these two are renewing rivalry. Gorgeous Dude did pick up a 3-point penalty for that win, but if you look at the penultimate, you'll see that Gorgeous Dude ran second. That was the race in which Pongola ran third, and next time out, Gorgeous Dude came out and won. Not only that, the horse that ran 5th was a horse called Animal Impact, who has also subsequently come out and won since then. So that form line has certainly held up well, and I do think that 6 Pongola will give us a good run for our money. So that's the first choice, ahead of number 8 Mac Hardy, for third number 2 Gorgeous Dude, and for fourth number 1 Porfirio. 6, 8, 2, 1, the numbers, race 6. 15:30 is the off time of race number 7, and this is an A stakes where 9 runners will line up at the 1600 meter mark. I do think that Justin Snaith holds the key, and I was sort of umming and eyeing which one to go with. Do I go with 1 Get Impressed, where if one looks at his course and distance record, impeccable. 3 runs, 2 wins and a third. But I'm rather going to go with the one that Muzieni's on board, and that's number 3 Underworld. Despite picking up a 6-point penalty for that last win on the Poly en Geberga, this horse is always there or thereabout. This horse will be running on very strongly in the closing stages. Third run after rest, good enough for me to be cherry ripe to run a cracker. So I'm going 3 Underworld to win it, ahead of 7 Diani. For third I'm going 1 Get Impressed, and fourth number 2 Baratheon. 3, 7, 1, 2, the numbers, race 7. And on the subject of Justin Snaith, I think he'll win the 8th race with number 1 Okavongo. There is just one slight niggle or chink in the armour, which I'll get to in a moment about Okavongo, but I remember this horse's last win particularly well. This horse turned into the straight at Hollywoodbets Durbanville a heck of a long way back. He picked them off one by one in the closing stages. He got up on the line to win by a head, and I do think that this horse can follow up with another win. The only chink in the armour is that he's going around a right-handed turn this time round, but if he takes to Hollywoodbets Greyville, he's the one they all have to beat. So I'm looking no further than 1 Okuvongo to win race 8 on the card, ahead of 5 El Ravien, 9 Blackberry Breeze, and 8 Villa Vicosa. 1598. The numbers race 8. Race 8 is a starting time is 16:05, which takes us 35 minutes later to 16:40 for the last race on the program, race number 9. And this is a Class 4 fillies and mares, benchmark 80. 10 runners will line up at the 1800-meter mark. And here I'm going for the same horse I went for last time out. He won, and I think he can follow up, and that's number 1, Hodgepodge. This horse is a model of consistency, and I do think that we can once again expect a very honest performance from pole position, will have the run of the race, and to me rates the one they all have to beat again. So I'm going 1, Hodgepodge, to win it, ahead of 5, Sonata Samaritan, for third, number 2, Among the Clouds, and for fourth, number 8, Queen Amina. 1, 5, 2 and 8, the numbers in the last, and that takes care of our preview at Hollywoodbets Greyville on Easter Sunday afternoon. Trust you'll have an enjoyable and profitable day's racing. Till next time, from me, Rouvaun. Cheers for now.